I'm really starting to develop an unhealthy distrust of medical professionals at this stage in my life. I feel as if recently, within the past 6 months, I have at worst case been lied to by medical professionals, and in the most favorable, fair light to them, information has definitely been omitted to me. I've been lied to, or I guess not told the full facts about my GLP-1 coverage due to my obesity and comorbid conditions. The full facts, that was for my primary care. The next instance I've been lied to or omitted from was when I signed up for Invisalign. I need to correct my bite due to my TMJ issues, and they didn't go over the pros and cons of Invisalign, what my other options were for like traditional braces, not just Invisalign. They didn't advise me, I won't get into my Invisalign, but I've just been having a really bad experience with doctors not being truthful or forthcoming with me. And it's really frustrating because I don't fucking know what questions to ask the doctor.
Speaking on Invisalign, this happened with me. I went to a dentist, right? This was the dentist I was going to them for like the last 4 years. They told me I needed Invisalign. But first, what they said before that was I needed like 2 root canals and I had a bunch of cavities that needed to be filled. I'm like, that's strange. The year before, I didn't have any of that wrong with me until they snuck fluoride onto my teeth. I didn't want them. I didn't want fluoride. I don't believe in that. They snuck it on my teeth, made me pay for it, although I didn't ask for it. The next year, they say I need all of this dental work. Strange. But they say before root canals and the fillings, I need Invisalign first. It's $3,000. Then they said, but we can get the price down. They sent somebody over there to talk to me. They told me the price is $4,000 out of pocket. I'm like, that's weird. If I needed the work so bad, why would I need Invisalign first? Seemed like they would do the work first and then fix my smile if y'all saying it's crooked. It was a black worker there. He told me, I ain't gonna lie, you might want to get a second opinion. So I came back a time later. They didn't even want to really talk to me for real. The second opinion was them telling me the same thing, talking to me about Invisalign. I'm like, oh, this is a cash grab. I changed dentists. The next time I go for a cleaning, I don't tell them nothing. I don't send over my paperwork from the last doctor, my charts or anything. They do a cleaning. They take my x-rays. They do all of that good stuff. There's nothing wrong with your teeth. They're perfectly fine is what they tell me. We'll see you back in 6 months for the next cleaning.
I'm assuming that because they're my doctor, all of this goes to the fact that unfortunately in the medical professional, I'm seeing in real time an increase of being treated like a customer instead of a patient. And a lot of people like to talk shit about attorneys, being liars and don't trust an attorney. Do not trust your doctor, honestly. If it involves you paying out of pocket for anything, do not trust your doctor.
Bingo.
If there is a high copay or something, do not trust your doctor. And that is sad. And another example as to why we're in late stage capitalism and why we need to socialize healthcare. Because I should not be a bottom line number in my healthcare.
They made that saying, trust me, I'm a doctor. Nah, you shouldn't trust them. Don't trust the doctor. Always do research yourself when they tell you something. If they tell you got cancer, don't get chemo. It'll take that person out. There have been surgeons that have performed surgeries that people didn't even need, got caught up in all types of scandals and schemes where they were doing this, recommending surgeries they didn't need. Y'all got to remember, the doctor's there to keep you coming back. They're not there to cure you. They want to treat it. They'll give you treatment, put you on a treatment plan to keep you coming back, but they won't cure it. That's not what their job entails. And don't let you tell them you're going to take the holistic or herbal route. The doctor going to get into it with you. Well, that's not FDA regulated. They're going to get all type of mad. They don't want to hear that. Although the drugs that they are going to give you, remember, they the biggest drug dealers. The drugs they going to give you were taken from herbs and they cut it.
Can we talk about how physicians are not examining their patients anymore? That's like a thing of the past. When I see patients, every single patient gets in a gown and they're examined toe. And patients will ask, what are you? Can we talk about how physicians are not examining their patients anymore? That's like a thing of the past. When I see patients, every single patient gets in a gown and they're examined from head to toe. And patients will ask, what are you going to do to me? And I'll ask them, hasn't your other doctors been examining you? And they're like, no, they just sit and talk to me. And so As consumers, I think you have to raise the bar, demand better care. Why are physicians not examining their patients, getting them into a gown, taking their clothes off? Doesn't make any sense. The standards are being watered down. Sorry.
He's a doctor, Dr. Joe. You're right. The last time that's happened to me, I was a child, was the last time that I got in a gown and was examined. They don't do that no more. You tell them what's wrong, they prescribe you whatever they want to prescribe you. Most times I feel like they looking in a book, or these days they're probably asking ChatGPT or some type of chat bot. You tell them what's wrong, they type it in. Back in the day, I'm like, they ain't doing nothing but looking in a book for real. If that medicine doesn't work, they'll tell you come back. They're going to recommend you another medicine. That one doesn't work, they'll recommend another one. There have been people that have been sent home because the doctor told them nothing was wrong with them, and then they almost passed away. They had to go to another doctor for that doctor to figure out there was a major problem. Why didn't the doctor that you went to prior tell you that? This is what they do too. They're in it to milk the insurance companies. They want to get as much money out of your insurance as they can. Doctors are scammers these days.
Here's why nurses are actually quitting, and no, it's not because we're lazy or we don't love the job. Let's be real about why so many of us are walking away from the profession. Reason number one is unsafe staffing. Almost every nurse I know says their unit is short. You walk into a shift already behind, 4 or 5 really sick patients in the ER or ICU with no tech, no secretary, and leadership still claiming it's safe on paper. You're set up to fail even hang your first med. Reason number 2 is burnout and mental health. Burnout isn't just being tired. It's that mix of physical exhaustion, emotional numbness, and this voice in your head that's just saying, you're failing everybody. You go home wired and empty at the same time. You're snapping at your family, sitting in your car after a shift, just staring, trying to convince yourself to go back tomorrow. Reason number 3, toxic leadership and gaslighting. You speak up about patient safety and ratios and get told that's just how it is. You'll toughen up. We all did. They send out self-care emails and pizza parties while ignoring every single thing we're telling them. And we tell them everything that's about what's really going on at the bedside. Reason number 4 is work and family. I mean, you work 12-hour shifts that turn into 14, rotating days and nights, back-to-back weekends. That might be survivable when you're 22 with no responsibilities. Try doing that with kids, or as a new dad, or while taking care of your own parents. At some point, you have to pick your job or being present for your actual life. That's why nurses are quitting. Not because we woke up one day and stopped caring. It's because caring in this system costs you your body, your brain, and your family. While the people in charge refuse to change anything that matters. If this sounds like your last shift, tell me in the comments, what kind of unit are you on? What's the number one thing pushing you out? No hospital names, just real reality, just your reality. And if you're done feeling trapped by this system, but have no idea what else you can do, hit follow. I'm an ER nurse building off-shift income and an exit plan so I can be present and leave this mess behind. And I'm sharing everything I learn as I go.
I try to be very positive about nursing because it genuinely is a very rewarding career choice, and it provides so much stability for you and your family. However, there are some ugly sides to nursing that I think you should be aware of, and we're going to start off strong with number 1, being short staffed while being criticized for everything that you're doing wrong by management. It doesn't matter if you're down 2 nurses, you're still expected to do the same exact workload, the same exact things, because the patients are still coming in. You can't turn them away, and especially if it's a trauma. And if you're drowning, there's no one to help you, but yet they still tell you that, hey, you did this wrong and you did this wrong, so we need to fix that. Okay. And then secondly, same thing, they're going to tell you you can do better. Okay, well, if I'm giving my best, that's all I can give. And then third of all, patients treating you like absolute dog shit. It's not going to be every one of them, but sometimes you do come in contact with those type of people that think that you're the maid, the housekeeper, that it's a hotel. It's draining. And then on top of that, it takes you 2 to 3 business days to recover. And if you have a very hectic and busy personal life, add nursing onto that, it's going to be very stressful. Yeah. But all of this to say that if you choose to go into nursing, if you are into nursing, your mental health is very important. And so I think it's important for you to take steps to preserve that. Like whether that's, buying something that you have been wanting for a little while now, or why don't you go on vacation? It don't have to be out of country. It can be like a weekend getaway trip, something to just kind of take your mind off of things. Or it can be a little sweet treat that you think you want, but you don't want the calories. Do it. Okay, your mental health matters, and if these things make you happy, then you go on and you do it.
I think what also should have been mentioned is therapy. When you're dealing with that much trauma, you're experiencing that much stress in a job, you might need therapy. This is the same thing with EMTs. I know an EMT, he said a lot of them have to take therapy. You're seeing people come in there shot up, stabbed. You might be treating a family member. You're mentally drained and stressed daily. Some people never recover from the work. It's recommended that they go talk to somebody regularly too. I think it's the same thing with the nursing field. It might be a little less intense, or it could be just as intense. They probably should talk to somebody. That's what I'm thinking. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with talking to somebody. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video, family. Drop it in the comment section below. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, it's your brother YT. Peace to my Hebrew fam. Shalom.